I was literally just saying to Alex that I'm stoked. That'd be that's mountain bike vibe for delighted. So I'm delighted that it's just like it's kind of got to the stage now where whether we post or not, whether we do anything or not, it makes sales consistently, right? Like obviously when you post and stuff, you'll get more, but like it's kind of that shows where we're getting to. That's what I'm thinking anyway.
Yeah, it's good. It's got a bit of I think the flywheel effect has come into play a bit now. So like, when you start putting in a lot of work in the beginning to get something going, like everything's always gonna be hard to start with, right?
Absolutely.
Um, but I feel we've reached a point where we've pushed the sales and we've got some influencers on board
Mhm.
who've got some nice little audiences, which are still looking for more people to join the Apex army.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's got to the point now where it's just starting to roll nicely.
Yeah.
So
Oh, it's unreal. And do you know what was even better? Like obviously, like if you look at our sales, the vast majority of them have been UK based, right? But it's now seemingly like we're starting to get some that's outside the UK. Like today's orders, um, I'd
Sweden,
say
Denmark,
Sweden, Denmark
Denmark.
was yesterday. Denmark was yesterday, was it not? Sweden today, and
I-
then America as well.
Well, let me just reel off this list I have here of countries so people can hear like where it's selling to, which is pretty cool.
And we
It's in,
haven't pushed international too much, like at all, really.
so far we have customers in predominantly the UK, United States, Canada, Spain, Malta, Denmark, Ireland, Germany, and Sweden.
Unreal.
And we haven't like we've obviously got a lot of stock in the US to start pushing. And also we haven't even thought about touching like down in Australia and stuff, which I think would be a good market.
Is there, sorry, this might sound like a stupid question. Like, is there a lot of mountain bikers in Australia?
Yeah, it's a big scene there, New Zealand, like that would be perfect.
Well, New Zealand, I'd say is unreal. That's all mountains.
Yeah, there's mountain biking everywhere. And we don't need, again, we've just proved we don't need massive amounts of audiences for this to work.
No. And
But
Joe's really cool as well. Dougie sent over an image yesterday or a video, and it was like he was in this basically a bike store and he was looking at competitor goggles, right?
there's
Um,
Decathlon, which is like a big
yeah, yeah,
general sports shop.
yeah. And he was like just had this other pair of mountain bike goggles. Man, like I said, I'm not a mountain biker, right? But I do know how to design a good product. They were pathetic looking.
Yeah, they look cheap.
And the best bit is they were expensive. Like
Yeah, just goes to show that people must be buying them, especially if they're in Decathlon as well. Like they must be making
they
sales.
must be selling. Like that makes me that just drives home more to me like the quality of what we're doing, but also drives home to me like just build a superior product and you will never have well, you'll have 99% less problems.
I have actually, there has been a few people have mentioned to me that we need to increase our prices soon. Like,
Oh, 100%.
that's like inevitable. Like I think our strategy was pretty good though. We came in and I wouldn't say we flooded the market, but we just tried to get as many eyeballs on what we were doing for a good
Mm.
price. And I'm not saying we're going to drastically increase the price, or we should like by double the price. I think that's a bit.
Slowly increase it. To be being fair to everyone.
But I feel if we can keep the products. I mean, if we can keep our products at the minute, I mean, maybe this will change in the future. Under £100, I think that's a really good buy for a customer, where they can get an actual package of goggles, lenses, a complete kit basically that covers all the bases for mountain biking. And I mean, I actually used them for motocross the other day, which is pretty cool. So
Mm.
there's even another market there, which motocross is a much bigger market than mountain biking. Like, I mean, even if
Mm.
I just go on Google,
Look at Google Trends there.
yeah, I was just about to say I'm going to go on Google Trends now and just see, but guys listening won't be able to see this, but um, if I just do a quick search and I'll show you. Let's just go worldwide. Let's search mountain biking. Let's search motocross.
Yeah.
Let's go worldwide and the past 2004 to the present day.
Yeah.
Um, Interestingly enough, motocross has dropped in interest since 2004, gradually to now, but it's
Mhm.
still like on this scale here, it's still.
Considerable.
I'm just trying to do some math. Six. It's still about six times as, in terms of the search volume, it's six times more popular than mountain biking. And if we're having success with mountain biking in this small market, then you can see how much bigger the motocross market is and could be for us.
Just talk to me. So in terms of like use case, right? And you used it for motocross this week because you've invested in the new Spark bike, isn't it? Or Stark.
Dark, yeah, that's it.
Stark. You invested in the new Stark bike, right? Um, what's the difference like in terms of mountain biking and motocross in terms of goggles? Or is there any difference really apart from marketing?
There is some differences. I mean, there are some people who make like a lighter weight goggle,
Mhm.
um, with a smaller frame for mountain bike, whereas a motocross goggle generally is like a little bit wider, just to give a little bit more vision. But there are also mountain bike goggles that are just basically motocross goggles, just marketed as mountain bike goggles.
Yep.
Like
So it's really preference.
they just cross over really well. So, I mean, there are some goggles that probably aren't as well suited to motocross as they are to mountain biking that are
Mm.
actually have been people that brands have brought out. But we could quite comfortably sell our product no problem to motocross riders. Um, no bother. Like I rode
You-
with them on the, huh?
So you feel like there's a good crossover there.
Yeah, yeah, we could no bother sell them to people riding motocross now,
Mm.
and obviously the market is much bigger, which is why yeah, we should start maybe just looking to put the feelers out and see if we can generate some interest from motocross riders as well.
100%. But I actually, to be honest with you, man, I actually think some motocross riders have bought our goggles.
Um,
Because
maybe.
I'm really sure I seen an email from someone saying he's going to use it for motocross.
Oh, maybe,
Yeah,
yeah.
honest to
Yeah.
God, I'm pretty sure. Like, that's very interesting. Now, it's actually it's funny. Like, it's really driving home to me as well. Like, because we haven't like we've basically done so little paid advertising for this, right? And I'm not saying that's a good or bad thing. I'm just saying that's what we've done. And obviously, I think when we launch different products in certain niches, we may have to ramp that up a bit. And that's something that we're probably definitely going to improve on in the future. But I suppose if we find motocross, social channels, so people that basically ride motocross and actually promote it on their channel and actually start talking about it there, that can be really powerful for bringing in new people.
I do I have an interesting view on that
Go
because
on.
um well we've talked about doing paid advertising a lot. I'm I had a thought the other day that the goal should be to do no marketing, no have no
Mm.
marketing spend, and almost earn money on the marketing. So like at the minute we're doing organic stuff, just putting our time into
Yep.
content. And then we're talking about putting money into paid content, which is where we're just basically paying to put our content in front of people, which is costing us money, right? It's an expense.
Mhm.
But what about if you flip the script and think, well, if your brand is that good, you shouldn't need to spend money on marketing. Like, for example, I know like Tesla, Stark are the same. They don't have a marketing budget. Like they don't have a we need to spend this much money on marketing to push our product. They don't do any marketing, they don't do any advertising. Same with expensive premium cars, Ferrari, Porsche, Rolls-Royce. You'll never see any ads to those cars or anything because they
Well,
don't
there
need
is some, but not too many.
hardly. They don't need it. But then also past that, so you've got not needing a marketing budget because your brand is so well known. What about if you then went the next step further and said, well, what about if you can get paid for marketing? So like a lot of the times you'll put money into advertising to like acquire a customer. So you'll pay 10, 20 pounds, 30 pounds or whatever the percentages of a product to acquire a customer to get them to buy it. And that's an expense. But what about if you could get paid somehow to do the marketing? Do you know what I mean? So every time you get a customer, it's actually making the marketing is making money on it. I had that thought the other day. It's interesting. Because at the
Yeah.
minute we've done I know we talk about paid ads being a an interesting option to explore, but I honestly think like we either pay like Facebook or one of these platforms to put our product in front of people, right? And we have a budget for that. But what about if we just put that also, what about if we put that same budget into an influencer?
Mhm.
And we've literally done that by giving away commissions, which is,
I think that's 100%. That's like something I would just never not do. I think that that has to be like in every product you launch. But
yeah,
like,
but why, that's what I mean. But why do people put so much emphasis on paid ads? Like when influencers are just, or people who have got
yeah.
an audience, like it's a no-brainer to me. It's literally a no-brainer. I actually did a podcast the other day. This is funny actually. I did a podcast. It's coming out tonight actually with a friend up the road. He's got a bike podcast and
Oh,
he's
did you do this one before, did you?
I did this podcast last week and it's coming out tonight. It's not
Okay.
out yet. I'll send you a link to it and it's out.
Mm.
But he was having a joke. We have a bit of a joke and stuff. And obviously, I do a lot of YouTube videos now. I just make content, ride my bike, post stuff about it, and that's how I make my living and make an income and everything, as well as all the other stuff we're doing. But he jokes about it a lot because he just calls me an influencer. He's like, "Oh, you're an influencer," and like as if it's a joke, as if like. And I was sat there thinking like interesting because he's like 50 years old. So
Mm.
he's very old school in what like marketing is. But also, I'm sat there thinking, well, isn't everybody an influencer? Like if you're on social media and you're in my world anyway, and you're say riding a bike or doing a sport and you've got an audience of people and you are telling people about a product you're using, you are influencing people to make a purchase or to influence them on what you're doing. Like even if your sole goal isn't to make an income from it, it's to get someone's attention. So you're still influencing someone to get their attention. And I thought it was really interesting because he takes the piss out of me and jokes about it as if like it's oh you're in like oh there's Mr. Influencer. I'm like, well, you have a podcast, therefore you are
There,
an
you're an
influencer.
influencer.
Like big names in the industry.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
100%, 100%. I think everyone's influencing it in their daily life anyway. Like you're always influencing people to do anything like that. Yeah, everyone's a bit of an influencer. It's just some
Yeah,
people amplify it.
totally. I just think people have latched onto it so much that it's become like to some people it's become this like comedy value. Like, oh, look at that influencer over there. I'm like, well, fuck you, because I literally do this for a living. I barely do anything, as in it's fun, and I understand that everybody influences people. So it's just me. I'm basically getting paid to be me.
That's so cool, isn't it?
But that's it, isn't it? Just getting paid to be yourself. Really.
That's like the dream job, isn't it?
I mean, what are we doing with what we're doing here? Like, we're making a podcast to influence people about building a brand. We're sharing things about the brands we built to influence people. We're starting a YouTube channel to influence people about what we're doing. Like, it's all the same thing. It's
Yeah,
just attention grabbing. That's all. Like, that's all it is.
it's just trying to grab attention. But as I said, everyone's an influencer. It's just some people just amplify that, right? But I want to just go back. You were talking about paid ads, right? And I hear you so much, right? Like I'm in two schools of thoughts completely about paid ads, right? I can see that I think they're like at the beginning of a brand, they can really push it, like amplify it, right? Because you pay, you get consistent traffic, right? I think the organic thing, at least at the beginning, is much harder because it takes that little bit of time to build the momentum, to build the traction, right? But I do think, right? I do think once you build, right, the marketing system, the organic marketing system to the point where basically every customer is referring a customer or thereabouts, right? You have literally unlocked free growth momentum, right? And I think that is possible. I just think the reason why people go to paid ads sometimes at the beginning is because it's the quickest way to get a result because you're getting traffic for this cost, right? And maybe it's not an and or it's like it's both. Sorry, it's a both. Like you can actually do a little bit of both. But I still I do agree with you on the point that the goal should nearly be not to need it because I think if you build a product to the point where people are like, flip, this is good. I want to promote this. I am loyal to this. Like, if you get to that stage, then the paid ads will perform better, but the organic marketing system will over time compound anyway. And I actually think there's probably a science to this, right? Which we're kind of discovering because this is a bit new to us, right? But if we apply these fundamental systems to business, they have to work. And it's funny, like our we're doing this free trial offer, right? So basically, like a lot of people are committed to a mountain bike goggle, right? This is what we found with Apex. And to get those people to swap from what they already have, either having no goggle or having a goggle that is from a competitor to our product, there was this huge perceived opportunity cost to swap, right? Because they could just swap, pay money, and then be like, this is useless, right? I don't like this. So we believed in our product so much, right? That it's actually funny, right? I seen an ad. I think I mentioned this before. I seen an ad for um a new mattress, right? Mattresses are generally quite expensive purchases, right? Like maybe up to £2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000, right? But they're not usually like 200, right? At least the ones you want to sleep on. And the company was trying to sell their mattress online, and people like to lie on a mattress in the shop. That's what they always say when you go around looking at a mattress. Lie on it there, get comfortable, see what you think, right? And they even have stuff at the bottom of the mattress to stop your shoes like dirty in the actual mattress. And basically, they wanted to overcome this online. Now, most people aren't like, well, I'm going to buy that mattress, that mattress, that mattress, that mattress, try them out, and then send them all back, right? I'm not going to buy four or five, right? But at the same time, it's like, well, I don't even know what four or five to buy, but I kind of like this one. So I'll buy that one, right? But at any time over the next 180 or 200 nights, that's a big number. Like, the customer, could decide, do you know what? It's not for me, send it back. So straight away, I'm like, that's really good because I'm still in control. I haven't committed to this. I've only purchased it, but I could change my mind, right? No quibble. And I thought, why don't we do that with the goggle, right? Because if we do that with the goggles, right, but take it one step further, right? Whereas we just get them to cover the shipping. I'd seen this before with books, but I'd never seen this with physical products, right? So we actually got to that stage and people started buying it, right? Because they were only covering the shipping. And then after 30 days, right, they paid for the product, they liked it, like the balance, or they said, you know what, I don't like it. I've tested it, I don't like it, and send it back. No questions asked, right? We were so confident in our product. But right, there's a little secret human psychological hack there, right? I'm not hacking our customers, right? But as again, everyone is, you know, everyone has to be, we believe in this product. I believe it's a better system for mountain bikers, right? To use our goggle system, right? I actually believe that. I think it's really, really good. So I'm happy to promote it. There's a thing called the law of reciprocity, right? So people perceive, rightly, I would say, that we've done them a favor. We've let them try it out, which we have. We've taken a chance on them. They could just cancel their cards, never reply to our emails. Like, the police aren't going to kick their door down. Like, that's it. Like, it's on us, right? And if everyone done that, we would just be like fools, right? But maths and reciprocity is on our side. And ultimately, people are like, those guys are sound. They trusted me. I'm not going to let them down. So there was actually one person at one stage. We've had really good, like I think something like 80% of people have just more, sorry, like literally, I said, yeah, maybe 80, 85% of people have just, payments gone through on time every time, right? We haven't had a payment not go through first try in months, right? But there was a guy and his payment didn't go through. And I remember he emailed and he was like, I'm so sorry. I will sort this out. It's like, it's all right. I trust you. You'll sort it out, right? And in fairness, he did. But like you could tell that he perceived that he was letting us down. And I suppose that is true. It's trust. So you can build that into your marketing system, more of that human interaction, that human trust. I don't think, and if you do this on a bigger scale and a bigger market, and we could promote more organically, but if we do all those things and get it out there with more influencers and things like that, and reward them for sharing it, influencers, people that have an audience, um, I don't think actually paid ads, at least for a while, are necessary. Maybe they're not even necessary, as I said, because you get everyone sharing one. Well, then that's it. That should be the goal people should optimize for, not an ROS, like a return on ad spend. It should be like a share on customer or something like that.
Totally. Yeah. I mean, I think Apex will grow quite a lot in the next couple of months just with we
Compound.
well, Apex will grow quite a bit in the next few months because we've just also got a couple more people on board in America who I'm fairly confident in, like who they are as a person, and like, I mean, they don't have massive audiences, but I know how well connected they are to the audiences, and I just think it'll go down really well.
I'm
And we,
very excited. I'm so excited to start seeing America take off because we've seen that happen in the UK, and like that's working. But like I can't wait to see the US. Like that's gonna be a game changer. And I know that's sort of a cheesy word, game changer, but like it truly is like it's a 6, 7, 8 times bigger market. Like
yeah, absolutely. And then we've got Australasia we can start looking at as well. And we haven't even tapped into a lot of stuff. I think we should start actually putting our heads together maybe on the next reorder for things and seeing what sort of like restock we should do. And I mean, we've also got different products coming in, which again will then open up. And that's so you've already tapped into a market, but you haven't saturated it at all. You've just
no,
sold them one product. But the thing is with the idea of products we've got to sell people. I mean, we've got some really good ideas in the pipeline for Apex, and they complement products, so they don't compete with it. So we're pretty confident that people who buy product number one, which is a goggle at the minute, will buy product number two. And we already have supplemental products. We've got jerseys just for brand awareness that people are starting to buy now. We have some lens protectors coming in and some replacement lenses, which are starting to make, steady little sales and stuff. But once we start introducing another flagship product alongside our goggle, I'm fairly sure maybe 50, 60, maybe more percent of people who bought the goggle will buy the next product as well.
the
Oh,
upsell basically, for want of a better word.
well, it's not really an upsell, it's a different product. It's different product for a different person, but I'm fairly sure there are some people who would have both of them. And if we can do this, if we can have the same thought process behind it, so somebody gets a product and it's not just, oh, you buy this product and then you have to buy a load of accessories if you want it. No, we're like, no, you get this product and it has what you need in the box.
Oh, 100%.
It has what you need in the box for different lighting conditions, so you can literally look after your goggles, your products, whatever. Um, so I think that's really good. I think that's what customers want. I almost get annoyed as well if I look at what I want for my products. I hate when you buy the main product and then it's like, well, if you want this extra outcome, you have to buy this extra add-on. And sometimes I'm a bit like, okay, I'll buy it, but why can't that just be included? Like the Stark, I'll keep going back to that bloody thing. That came with everything I needed to ride that bike. As in, sure, I had to buy my own kit. I had to have all that riding attire, but it came with its own. It came with its own phone, like mobile phone, which is it uses that to run anyway. But it also came with its own toolbox, like its own, like fully kitted out tool kit, which is expensive as it is. Like it's a beautiful product, and that came with it. And I suppose when you're spending like
Love
10
that.
grand on a bike, that's kind of like you're like, well, that should be expected. I'd be a bit pissed off if I had to go and buy some cheapo tool set to build the bike or whatever. But they've actually put this toolkit together, which also has every tool in it that you need to service and look after the bike. So it's all this consolidated thing where you, other than spare parts and looking after the thing, it's its own. I'm a happy customer basically.
Yeah,
Like
but,
I'm
but
and I'm trying to look at every single touch point I've had with that company and how do we apply it to what we're doing. Because it doesn't matter if you're selling motorbikes, mountain bikes, or goggles. Like it's the same, you're still offering a customer a product.
but I think there's opportunity in so many different products for that. Like anything, like even like we're looking at buying a mattress Hoover, right? Clean the mattress, right?
Mm.
Five was showing me this today. I'm like, take that principle, apply it to that, and just basically build the best product. Don't
Yeah.
build the second best. I think what's the thing like in business, there's no advantage of being the second most expensive or the second cheapest or whatever. Like forget about all that. Be the most expensive. I think you should aim for that. I know we're talking about it in terms of our product for value, but what I'm trying to say is I think for products, if you can have like the best features, that'd be the better way to describe it. And that's what I mean by expensive. If you can be the best features for a product, like I think that trumps everything nearly. Like that's what Stark did. Like they just literally said, we'll give you everything.
Well, that, and they I actually listened to a podcast I get from the guy again. He's very
Mm.
smart. He was like saying they will, unless they know they can make a superior product to anything else in the market, they will never enter it. So that's what they've done with their product so far. And maybe that might not be our case entirely, but you can still learn from that and
Mhm.
look at a market as a whole and be like, well, how do we compete with this, and how do we make a superior product that's maybe, if it's already done, how do we make it better than what's already out there? Or if it's new to market, can we bring something fresh to it?
No, no, I hear you. And I suppose the superior product doesn't have to just be the actual product. It can be the customer experience. That's
Yeah,
a part of the product.
yeah, that is the product. That's what the customer gets. That's totally correct.
Exactly. So like there's very high likelihood that even if you don't have the best product, or you could have a damn good one, you could have the best experience, which is the best product then.
I don't have any buyer's remorse whatsoever. It was a significant purchase for me, and some people still think I was given that bike. Actually, I mean, I just bought it out of my own money because I was just convinced it was the right
He
thing
was
to do.
just so excited. He just couldn't wait. He had to buy it.
Literally, yeah,
Unreal, man. Unreal. Well, look, guys, thank you so much for listening. We'll let you go and hope you enjoy the episodes.
yeah. Take care. See you in the next one.
Bye bye.